Yes. So, what is the most critical social awareness factor in your personal opinion?
Social awareness. Oof. Hey.
Yeah.
Because then you have to deal with you're dealing with other people.
Yeah.
Dealing with yourself is okay, but the moment you have to deal with others makes it a bit problematic.
It makes it a big problem. Look, social awareness, because you of course have to work with other people. But if you're not true to yourself, then you've lost the whole thing. You've lost the whole thing. Because you cannot get to that attribute without having understood yourself, aware of yourself, having to manage yourself. There's no way that you can get into social management. The only thing you're going to do is cause harm. Yeah, and then you're going to cause more harm to the fourth attribute, which is going to create more problems for you. You're going to become an outcast. And so understanding the first two steps of self-awareness and self-management is the one thing that's going to get you into social management. But it's also an aspect of having to study other people. It is not something that comes across. Of course, the people that you meet will always be different than what you've studied, but be deliberate in trying to know if Zelda is this way, if I've met Nonos that was that way, and I've reflected on my self-awareness sort of thing, self-management sort of thing, how this person might be acting, without having to get into assumption and perceptions, being able to paint a situation of how I would get into acting with around people. Because when we get to social management, social awareness, it gets worse, and it gets worse not for us as individuals, it gets worse for families, for communities, for our countries. We become outcasts, and it's a dangerous attribute to play around with.
Yeah.
So how do you deal as a introvert?
Yeah.
How do you deal with the self-awareness situation?
The good thing is, if you're an introvert, you're able to then ask yourself the questions. You're able to then step back and then look at the situation. That's a good thing about introverts, and not some of us like the extroverts that are crazy, because you get into situations without having to really take it to reflect on it.
Yes.
So for introverts it is better, because then you keep quiet and then you see the situation. There are situations where introverts get back in, even if they are around in society, they would get back in themselves and see what's the next step that I'm going to take to deal with Zelda or with Nonos. As much as they've said this thing, done this thing to me, that's a good thing. But having to reflect again, reflect, and get back into yourself, that's very important. When it comes, especially when it comes to social awareness.
So what is the it thing that comes to your mind when you think about social awareness?
Connection.
Connection.
Always connection. Connection. The manner in which you connect with people will ensure that you build relations and get to the next other people. If you do not connect, and connection comes with positive emotions.
Vibes.
Okay, positivity that you would get.
Energy.
You can't get into a situation where you are around people and you're just all negative. Wake up in the morning and you're just
Nasty.
But life turns us into nasty people, or how we perceive life.
how we perceive life. Yeah, turns us into nasty. And again, that's why we're having this discussion about emotional intelligence.
Exactly.
This is the crux of the matter. No one becomes nasty just by default. We become nasty because there's an aspect of not understanding, of not being aware about emotional intelligence. And so I think we'll get into that matter as well. But there's a crux, and that's what we're saying. The crux of the matter and the crux of life is emotional intelligence. Without it, you most probably will turn out to be someone that is nasty and be perceived as bitter. Yeah.
So does EQ comes with a high IQ?
Oh no. Nah. Nah.
Well, why you nine?
No, bro. Because for me, look, for IQ to be what it is, you need EQ. You can have the highest IQ in the world, but when your EQ is messed up, well, stay in your house, lock the doors and lock the windows.
Because you will
But
be
many-
a
many-
to society.
Seriously,
Many
it is true.
highly educated in the academics of the day believe that because they have a high IQ, they don't need EQ. Yeah, they don't need EQ because they are complete.
That's just the thing. Just because you believe in it, don't mean it's true. Some people believe stones are the holy and thou. That don't mean it's true. But look, of course, there are people that have the PhDs and have graduated, people that have the qualification, people that have the Mercedes-Benzes, people that live in luxury houses that believe that they are together. But in reality, they are not together, because the foundation of what EQ is, the foundation of life really is not IQ, it is EQ. You can have everything. And that's why people have lost families. They have the money, but yet they're in conflict with their families. And they need to ask themselves, I have the money, I give money. I buy my kids the clothing. I send my kids the highest education that they can get. What then is the problem that my kids act the way they act?
Because money doesn't make the world go round.
It is not.
You know.
It is not.
And money is not the it factor when it comes to human relationships.
Never.
In fact, passion is.
Never.
Exactly.